The Dancer's Craft, September 2002, Part 2, written a week later. It had been 96 degrees. The atmosphere was thick and wet that had been sitting upon nature, and was sitting yet. At last the weathermen foretold that a mass of clear and dry Canadian air was coming, though with winds which might be high. Then no one thought of the weather. The 11th of September had dawned, and all Americans stood ready to remember. The ceremony in New York was solemn, grim, and grand, when a passing gust of wind kicked up a cloud of dust and sand. The whirlwind rose and vanished where once the towers were. Meanwhile, in Litchfield County, the leaves began to stir. The dancer saw the evil puff on CNN. What could it mean? He stepped outside to ruminate on his world of gold and green. As he paced among his flowers, he touched them every one. By the hundreds, standing, stooping, their lives too would soon be done. The haze was lifting, and a breeze was blowing from the north. It cleared the air and calmed the mind, and led the dancer forth upon his bike to Quincy Farm, where the harvest would soon be ready. He videotaped the tossing heads, for the breeze was rather steady. The upright, full, round flowers would be perfect for display. The triumph of the summer is less than a week away. But for now the flowers were dancing in long, flowing lines on the land. Amid remembrances of death, here was life in bloom at hand. Back to the house, off to the lake to take his daily swim, the waters stream before the wind and sparkle up at him. He strokes out to the pocket with the perches and the pikes, when out of a clear September sky, the windstorm strikes. The sun is shining brightly, but the firmament has cracked. The crystal day is shattered, for the north wind has attacked. Suddenly there are whitecaps and seas running 2 feet high, with slapping waves and flying spray that spits in the dancer's eye. His flowers. Now he churns for shore to bring the harvest home. Not Byron in the Hellespont swam faster through the foam. Desperately he drags his body on the beach. His towel is snapping in the gusts in a branch he cannot reach. He speeds away in his black sedan, then brakes hard, for a tree is down across the road by Rumsey Hall. He will have to drive through town. Power lines are falling and sparking in the streets. An oak, uprooted, heaves to earth. He swerves, he swears, he cheats death at several corners. Home. He gains the porch and there sees papers, flowers, and a phone, all whirling in the air. Out in the crescent garden, a hail of walnuts falls. He dashes through the hedges, and what he sees appalls. Sunflowers are careening. One great stem just blows apart. The crack is like a rifle bullet to the heart. Back in the car, off to the farm, hoping his beauties have not come to harm. But the farm is on a hilltop, and the unresisted gale is threshing through the flowers like a flail. The heads are swinging wildly, like clanging bells they crash, coughing seeds up in their agony under the northern lash. Moses calls on Mother Nature to stop beating her only child. She answers, tearing through the field with the power of the wild. The cyclops are raging, the mammoths berserk, orange suns like stampeding giraffes. The vigorous Kong, so gigantically strong, beat gargantuan leaves on their staffs. The dancer looks to heaven. The sky is clear as glass. The wind that now is blowing, this too, he knows, shall pass. The following day the destruction is colossal, and the air is chill. The dancer's in shock. In the evening candles burn in the house on Bell Hill. The suns that remain have no petals. The ranks that are standing are thinned. The leaves hanging down are withered and brown, as if scorched by a nuclear wind. But the sprouts that the season began with are now seeds on the face of the earth. By the thousands they lie, fallen out of the sky, in the soil which will give them rebirth. And the dancer recovers, though slowly, as he walks day by day through his fields, where he sees devastation producing forms of beauty that peace never yields. The twisted sepals gripping in death the massive heads, the bent tucked arms of flowers down and dreaming in their beds, the finger shapes of side shoots reach up from the flattened stems. The field will soon be filled again with golden diadems. And the dancers are rehearsing in the studio day and night. They stretch and spring and float and swing, as if growing toward the light. To New York, where the city's still reeling from the storm and the deaths from the skies, Moses soon will be going with Momix, and the hearts of the people will rise.